Hello. Good afternoon to everybody. Is it audible from my side? So is it good to go with webinar, right? So good afternoon, everyone. I am CS Rajesh Tarpara, Central Council member from Ahmedabad, and on behalf of the ICSI and on behalf of the Council, I warmly welcome to all the officers from e-governance cells MCA, technical team from LTI, and supporting staff from the ICSI. And also, I welcome all the members who are participating through webinar mode from across the country. At the outset, I would like to thankful to the President of the ICSI, Dhananjay Shukla sir, and CLGC Chairman CS Manish Gupta sir, and Vice President Pawan Chandak sir for extending this opportunity for me to moderate this interactive seminar with the webinar with the LTI, MCA, and member at large. Secondly, I also like to extend our warm gratitude to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs for thoughtful and timely extending the annual filing dates for the corporates for ease of doing business as a part of ease of doing business and for better compliance management. We also thank to the MCA for organizing informative user awareness program. And I'm also thankful to the, especially the Cyril Sasi sir, DDGA, Deputy Director General, E-Governance Sales. Also thankful to Mr. Arsa Reddy, Deputy Directors, and also I thankful and welcome to CS Seema Malhotra Madam, Director Business and Analysis from the LTI. And at the outset, I also again thankful to the MCA for unique initiative and launching V3 portal for the annual filing as well. And always they are keen to resolve the tickets. And as per the recent talk with the MCA officials, especially Civil Sasi sir, he is very much interested that there should not be any ticket which is raised by the stakeholder remains pending, unresolved for more than 7 days. They are closely monitoring this ticket, so I simultaneously request all the members and stakeholders to keep raising the tickets so that they can take up the matter with technical teams as and when they come to the tickets. Friends, coming to the topic that is Form AOC-4 offline utility is become very essential tools for the compliance under the AOC-4 and balance sheet filing and financial statement filing. One of the key objective of this session is to familiarize the participant with the technical aspects of the offline utility, including installation requirement, system requirement and compatibility, step-by-step workflow, do's and don't do's, and certain check-in balance for AOC standalone, AOC CFS, and AOC XBRL. It is pertinent to note that MCA has indicated that significantly the filing of annual compliance reports has been lower as compared to the last year. So in other words, the compliance filing for annual filing especially has been reduced drastically as compared to the previous year. So they have strongly advised to sensitize this matter among the members. And I, on behalf of the ICA, also acknowledge that at ICSI, we have already taken initiative and step to sensitize this matter amongst the members by sending various SMS and emails to the members to complete their filing without waiting for last moment. And coming to again back, the webinar is aimed to empower the professional to proactively guide the companies, reduce the risk of filing rejections, errors, and maintain high level and high standard of corporate filings in the line with the expectation of MCA 21 and the ecosystem. I welcome you all speakers, and I confident that today's webinar will empower and will enrich the member who listening, and they help to remove the difficulties and technical issues faced by the stakeholders. Once again, I welcome you all, and taking ahead, I request Team LTI, Seema Malhotra Madam, please go ahead according to the PPT, and later on we will take the question answer session from the members. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me us an opportunity to provide you the insight with regard to the AOC-4 filing offline utility. Why it is important, how it is to be done, what are the finer points which has to be taken care of. I'll be sharing the PPT along with my team member, Mr. Ankit Negi. and also my team member Sheetal, who's going to be there in the QA session along with us. So I hope I'm audible to you, and I'll be sharing my screen. Just let me know once my screen is visible. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is
And
good to go.
it is good to go. Okay. Uh, so this particular seminar is about AOC-4 offline utility. Uh, So the agenda for this particular PPT is annual filing forms enhancements. We'll be showing you the annual filing forms along with the link filing scenarios. Then we'll be showing you the basic fields of the web layout and how the filing is to be done. Then we'll be doing a demo for the filing of particular form. Demo, when I'm saying that we are not going to do it in online. What we have done is we have done the filing of the one of the form, and we have taken the screenshots of those forms and what are the finer points which are required to be considered while you are doing the filing. That will be shown to you in this PPT also. So the form enhancements, as we are already aware that what we have done in our search in V3 and especially with the annual filing forms is introduction of web-based forms, thereby reducing the manual efforts, that whatever data which is provided in the MCA system database, that get pre-filled and stakeholder need not have to provide it again and again. Linkage of the form basis the purpose of the filings and options and selected. That means that we have whatever data could be captured, which was provided earlier in that form of attachment. If a form could be created and provided as a link form, and as and when it is required, it'll be shown to the stakeholder, and compulsory they are required to do the filing of that. So as an example, if you have got a subsidiaries in your company, then you are required to provide, along with the AOC-4 form, you have to provide AOC-1 form also, which was earlier coming as an attachment. Now it is in a machine readable format. Now, auto prefilling of the common fields across forms, ensuring data consistency and efforts. So if you have provided one information in one particular form, and if it is required to be provided and to be entered, then we are prefilling that, thereby ensuring that the data is consistently provided into the system. So if you provided one information in one particular form, the same will be getting prefilled and that'll become non-editable. That is a kind of validation which has been put because you are providing the information to that particular financial year closure date only. So that is why you are not allowed to make the changes into that, because you have already provided and it is already lying in the repository of the MCA. So that is why some of the fields become non-editable when you are providing it. Form field optimization by removal of duplicate or redundant fields. Some of the fields which were not required or which were redundant or which was replicated or been repeated or been duplicate in the system, we have removed those fields. The mandate which we have got from MCA is, I hope I'm not going very fast, but because it is going to be a lengthy PPT, that is for the initial things which are already in everybody's knowledge. But I just want to put it across because before we proceed ahead, we should know that what all we have done into the form. Minimization of the attachments has been done by introduction of the fields and declaration in the form of the digital format only. Why it has been done? Because the more analysis can be done on the machine readable format. PDFs as such are not readable, and whatever information you are providing in the form, it is getting validated so that we have got a cleaner repository or the database in MCA system itself, sir. Additions of the field level validation, thereby minimizing the efforts at the time of filing. And the maximum size of individual attachments has increased from 10 MB, and overall form size has increased for some of the few forms which we are already aware of. That if you are aware that if you're trying to file MGT 7 and where the Excel size for providing the list of directors has been increased to 300 MB. So that is the attachment size which has been increased for some of the forms. Overall, the font size cannot go beyond 10 MB. Now, what are the benefits of the AOC-4 offline filing? Less dependency on the internet or it is. It is less dependency on the internet or the portal downtime, ensuring smooth and uninterrupted submission. So what happens is that on during the offline state, you do not have to use the internet. What you can do is you can come into the system, fill in the basic information, which is a very minuscule information in the web form, and then on the basis of that, Excels get generated, and you are required to provide the Excels can be downloaded, and you can fill it in your free time. Multi-company filings can be prepared simultaneously by downloading the Excel utility. So what happens is that we have been receiving the request from the various professionals that I'm associated with with so many companies, and if with one person one login in the system is not allowing me to do the compliances part for the multiple company filings. For that, what we have done is that you provide the information in the web form, and then what you do is you can forget about it and then download the Excel and then do on your free pace and on your own free time. So then you'll be able to do the multiple company filings. Convenient for handling large data. If you have got a large data available company which is having a major data available, too much information which is available, and we have been hearing the complaints without that multiple that logins logouts happen at the time when you are doing the filings, and the system stopped automatically and you have been logged out, and whatever information you have provided into the web form, it's getting lost because you were not able to save the data. So in that case, this functionality comes as a handy because it allows you to manage the large data and secure review of process. So what happens is that when you have filled in the data in an Excel format, you need not have to share your login details, your personal details. You can share the Excels amongst yourselves or your team members or the company for that matter, and where the data can be put in and fed in by anyone and everyone into your system. So that is how this is a much more beneficial process. What we request from you to please don't get sway about the messages which are coming to you. You try it once. Maybe the first time filing will be a lengthy process, a little uh, tiring also at times. But once you do it only for once, then you'll get a heck of it and you'll be able to do the functionality in much easier manner. It is like using your Excel file conveniently the way you are doing for the as you're working on an Excel file. So it is as simple as that. And we have also heard during one of the seminars or webinars which we had with the people that can I copy paste the information in my soft copy which is available in my system, and can I copy that in the Excel file? You will not be able to do that, because if you see, because we have to maintain the format of the form the way it has been notified by the MCA. So during that process, what happens is that we may have merged certain columns, merged certain rows. Maybe you are copying, if you're copy pasting a single data, then you'll be able to do that, and some places it may be a possibility, but otherwise as a generic practice it functions the way Excels behave. So if you are trying to copy a the data from a merged field to another field, then you'll not be able to do that in normal Excel also. So the Excel functionality does nothing do whatever is available. It is not throwing an error at a point of time which normal Excel file will behave. So if the functionality of Excel file remains and we have not done any enhancement to that, that is what we want everybody to understand before they proceed ahead with the filing in a Excel format. Now, company filing for AOC-4 and child forms, which is available. That is how you're going to start it off. Now, about the linkage part, as everybody is aware that they are the link filings which you have to do. So what is a link filing? AOC-1 is a statement containing the salient features of financial statement of subsidiaries, associate companies, joint ventures. It's applicable when you have in the web form. So I'll, as a very easier process, what I'll do is I'll open one of the format of the offline file, and I'll tell you that what all points where you have to provide yes or no, if that is the case applicable to you. Then in that case, whatever the link filing is getting created, it is going to be the link form will get generated for you. And the functionality of AOC4 offline is that you have to do the things in a sequential manner. It cannot be done on a FZ manner. So what you have to do is first you have to fill in the AOC4 web form, and whatever the link file filings which you are supposed to be doing into it along with that particular filing, that'll be captured through the web form. Now, there's one very important thing which comes into the picture is that, and we're going to take it up as a separate issue, but I just wanted to bring it to everybody's notice that the parent form of AOC4, if you're going to make any changes, then please understand that the system will generate a new Excel format for you. Because in the previous one, if you have made any changes, then you will not be able to generate this. You cannot use the similar Excel. Because if you do it, that the system will throw an error while you're doing it. Because on the basis of whatever data you have provided in the parent form, your Excel is getting, or tailor-made Excel is getting generated into the system, through the system. So please be very mindful whenever you are filling the web form. Parent web form, which is a very important document, you have to do it very mindfully, because on the basis of that, your Excel get generated. And on the basis of that, your child form will also get generated. So there are only 20 fields which we are asking through the system, and the generation, it is a tailor-made document. If you make any change in the parent document, then you will be having a problem in the child forms also. So it is very much requested to you that you please, whenever you're filling a parent form, then please be very cautious in providing the data. AOC2 is the form for disclosure of particulars of contracts or arrangement entered into by the company with related parties, referred to Section 188 of Companies Act, including certain arm's length transaction under third provision thereto. So it is applicable when you say yes in the data field, whether any transactions entered with related party or form AOC4. Then AOC4 CFS, as we are all aware, that form for filing the consolidated financial statements and other documents with the registrar. Applicable in case in the web form, you say whether the consolidated financial statements required or not of form AOC4. In case you select yes, then the AOC4 CFS will be opening for you. CSR2 reporting on corporate social responsibility, applicable in case Section 135 or report for unspent CSR amount is selected in field CSR applicability pursuant to and provisional unadopted financial statement is not selected in the field nature of financial statements. So if you are doing the filing for the provisional unadopted financial statements, then please understand that the CSR2 form will not be open for you in that case. Then e-director reports, it's applicable in all the cases. E-auditor's report standalone, it is an extract of e-auditor report and e-director's report. So it'll be applicable in all the cases. E-auditor's report consolidated is e-auditor's report applicable in all cases where consolidated AOC4 is filed, such as AOC4 CFS and AOC4 CFS NBFC. Now, there are the important points which are required to be considered when you are filling up the form. Fill up the web parent form with basic information. Click on Save and Submit. Accordion, as we call it, or in a layman term, it is termed as panel for applicable link form will be enabled for the users. You are required to fill up the basic information of all link form as applicable: AOC1, AOC2, AOC4, CFS, CSR2, extract of board auditor's report, standalone, extract of auditor's report consolidated, extract of board report. When we click on to the proceed button and submit the parent form, the link form with basic information is opened and you are required to provide it. What happens then? Then Excels get generated and download Excel option would be displayed to the user. A zip file containing all the with the parent form and applicable link form will be downloaded into your system. Then one complete blank Excel set for parent and applicable link form wherein only previous year information provided in respective web form shall be pre-filled, will be downloaded in the Excels. Now, please understand the previous year figures will only be pre-filled if you have done the filing for the previous year and it is available in the MCA system and it's an approved format. It is the same functionality the way it is happening in the online form. Similar way it is happening for the offline form also. But if you have not done the previous year filing, then the system as such will be having a handicap of not providing the information for the previous years. Fill up the relevant Excels in the offline mode, upload one by one filled Excels against each form section, and when the first Excel is uploaded and successfully validated. So what happens is that if I have filled in AOC-4 form and I've done the filing for all the Excels, then what I'm supposed to do, I am supposed to upload into the MCA system. Please understand that every form which has been filed by you, like the parent form, unless and until it's get validated to the system, you will not be able to proceed ahead with the link filing. Another link filing like of AOC-1 or AOC-2, e-director's report or e-auditor's report, right? In case of Excel validations error, the user will be displayed error message in the text file and will require to make the necessary changes in the Excel. Please, we will show you the Excel that how it is getting generated. It is very specific. It tell you the data point where the changes are required to be done. It is as detailed as this. Maybe at initial stage when you do it, you may be finding coming across very much too much of errors. But that is happening in web form also. Because unless until you provide the correct data, the system will keep on throwing the error, the validation errors, field level validation errors, which are which are embedded in the form itself. So unless until you correct it, system will not allow you to proceed it. So similar functionality is there for the offline filing also, sir. Now, how you have to do the filing, you have to go to the select MCA services, company filings, annual filings, then you have to choose financial statement and other documents offline, right? That is what you have to do. Then there is a one important thing which everybody has to consider it. Then when you're trying to open up the form, your system may not allow you to do that. Then in that case, what you have to do is you have to go to the pop-up page where the arrow is being allowed, and they'll ask you a question, always allow pop-ups and redirect from HTTP MCA AOC-4 the in. So you have to allow that. Unless until you'll allow that, system will not open up the Excel altogether. So what you have to do is you have to allow that, and once you do it, then you'll be able to proceed with the offline filing of the form. Now I'll come to one very, I'll just show you a very basic this thing. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, I'm sorry. Now is it visible?
No.
Now is it visible?
Yes, it is coming.
Okay, fine. I will just show you that how the form is going to look to you. So this is a AOC-4 form, which is a offline form format, right? So what happens is that you have to provide the very basic information with regard to the form, and where you have to provide the information like general information with regard to the company, authorized share capital of the day of the filing, number of members, name of the company, address of the company. All these fields are going to get pre-filled into the system, and I'll show you how it is to be done, right? I'll be showing you one filled up form. Then financial year, nature of the services, whether financial statement, director's report, both, provisional statement field, all these fields are going to be filled up by you. Why I'm rushing through it? Because I'll be showing you this exactly within the filled in form also. Then there is a provision to do the save of this information also. Then you'll be captured the subsidiary details. Now, if you come to the field 8E, whether the company has subsidiary company as defined under section 87 of this has an associate or joint venture as defined in clause this thing. If you choose to say yes, then on this basis, your AOC one form become eligible for the opening purposes, right? Then you have to provide the auditor's detail. Then SRN of ADT1 is provided, and number of auditors who are associated with this particular SRN, you are required to provide that. Then the information with regard to the auditors, that is income tax, PAN, and all these details are, and also the details of the member signing for the form is going to get pre-filled from the SRN which you have provided. However, the details of the member signing for the above form is going to get pre-filled, but it is editable also. Then type of industry, whether scheduled, whether consolidated financial statements are required or not. It's an important field which if you say yes, then on the basis of that, AOC-4 CFS is going to get opened, right? These are the details. Then disclosure with related party transaction, yes and no. If you say yes, then AOC-2 will become eligible for opening up, right? Then CSR functionality, if it is there, if you click on to yes and you provide the information out there, then the CSR2 form will become eligible for you. And these are the various, important point to note here is that once you save it and then you submit it, the rest of the child form are going to display it onto your screen, where very basic information with regard to that particular child form will be asked from you, right? Schedule 3 is applicable, yes or no. Then segment auditor's report in case of the government company. Then miscellaneous secretarial audit is applicable to you or not. Secretarial audit has been qualified or observation of other remarks, number of observation made, all this will be provided to you. AOC1 will only ask for the very basic information, number of subsidiaries which are yet to commence the operations, number of subsidiaries which have liquidated or sold out during the year, number of the associate joint ventures, because what will happen is, as I told you again, I'm repeating, that on the basis of information provided by you here, a tailor-made Excel is going to get generated. So supposedly, if you have said that number of subsidiaries are 2, or for that matter 200, then the Excel will generate with 200 data points out there, or line items where you have to provide the data. So that is very much a part and parcel of the offline utility. Then AOC2 is for a form for the disclosure of the particulars of contracts or arrangement entered by the company with the related party. Refer to subsection 1. Then number of contracts or arrangement on transaction not at arm length basis. This data is also required. So once you keep on submitting it, then the next form will become eligible for you to provide the data into the system. So these forms are going to come one by one. It's not going to come all together. So CSR2 is the net worth, turnover, net profit. All these basic information is going to be asked from you. And please understand that whatever information you are going to provide in this form is going to get pre-filled in the Excel which you have provided, right? Excel which is going to get generated. And these information are not editable. So in case you want to make the change in any of the parent form information which has been provided you in the parent form, then the entire Excel will again be generated through the system, because on the basis of whatever you have provided in the parent form, the corresponding forms are getting generated. So that is why I'll again repeat that when you are providing the information with regard to the parent form, you should be very cognizant, because any data which is required to be changed, it will lead to the change in the entire Excel. And if you are making a changes into the link form, then for that matter, the change
Madam,
sorry,
madam,
yes,
koi screen mein matlab there is no movement in the screen if it is there.
movement in the sense what you can see abhi as of now.
The screen which we are able to see right now, हाँ slide change नहीं हो रहा है.
नहीं, अभी slide change नहीं हो रहा है क्योंकि it is running continuously, sir. अभी we have not changed the slide. अभी I'm just showing you the form.
But form दिख नहीं रहा है इसलिए there is.
Sorry, you are able to see this. What you can see on the screen, sir? Unspent CSR amount.
Technical team, please explain. फॉर्म नहीं दिख रहा है.
अच्छा, सॉरी, शेयर करना. So I have to share the entire screen. Entire screen का position होगा ये. Now can you see the form, sir?
Now it is okay. Now it is okay.
Okay.
Please make it full screen.
Okay. Sir, it's a form which I have opened. It is it will be visible like this only as of now.
Now it is okay.
Okay. So I was
So
explaining. So should I start it from the beginning? You were not able to see the form.
you can quickly go.
Okay. So what I try to say here is that I have filled in the parent form, whatever the information which is required to be provided in the parent form. Then I am supposed to go ahead and submit this form. On the basis of that, my entire form will be shown to you. The subsequent form will be shown on the submission of this particular parent form. Hello. So
Yes,
these are the details which are to be provided in the web form. That is a parent form. Then after providing this information, I'll provide the entire information. I'll provide the information and then I'll move to the proceed button. Then on the proceed button, I'll save the form and I'll submit it. Then the link forms are going to get generated. That is what I wanted to submit here. And this is how the functionality is going to work for all the child forms. So unless until I provide the details in the child form, I'll not be able to proceed ahead. If you can see on my screen, there's a save button and along with that, there's a submit button also is there. Right. So once you do the submit, then the rest of the child form will start generated and you have to submit it, and one by one, you'll be able to proceed ahead with the subsequent filings, sir. And these are the web forms which I'm talking about, sir. So AOC-1 with regard to the providing the information of the subsidiaries, associate, joint ventures of the company. Then AOC-2 is for RPT, that is a contracts or arrangement entered with the related party. And here I'm asking you the number of the contracts or arrangement, because on this basis, numbers which are provided, this Excel is going to get generated along with that number of rows into the Excel. Then I'll come to the CSR2. CSR2 I'll be asking the net worth, turnover, net profit, CSR committee details. All these details we're going to be asked by you, and then I'll be proceeding ahead, and the auditor's extract of auditor's report standalone, where I'll be asking you only whether the qualification, reservation or adverse mark or disclaimer. Please be sure that whatever numbers you are going to provide, the similar number are also will get generated in the director's report also. So whatever the qualification, reservation and adverse mark or the disclaimer you have provided into the system, the directors are required to provide the information or the explanation for that. Then whatever numbers you're going to provide in the auditor's report, the similar number is going to get generated into the this extract of board report also. Whether company's auditor's report CARO is applicable on the company, on the basis of yes, the entire CARO regarding applications will be displayed into the system where you are required to provide the information. Then extract of auditor's report consolidated. It'll also ask you the number of qualification, reservation of adverse remarks, and then the seventh point, whether there is any qualification or adverse remark with respect to the respective auditors in the company's CARO report of the company included in the consolidated financial statement? If yes, then indicate the number of the companies and number of the paras of the CARA report containing the qualification or adverse remarks. Then number of the companies for which observation is made by the auditor is captured here. Last but not the least, that is extract of the board report, disclosure with regard to the meetings of the board, whether companies are an OPC or CPC small company at the end of the financial year. On the basis of yes and no, if you provide yes, then whatever the section 851 or 85 is applicable to 8 is applicable to you will be displayed into the form. Then the number of the board meetings held, number of the committee meeting held, details of the loan, guarantee, investment or securities given by the company as per section 186, whether any loan guarantees given by the company or security of any other body corporate purchased. Then table for inquiring the details of number of the transactions. Then Excel generation is in the progress. Once your Excel is generated, then you have to download that Excel. After filling that Excel, you have to upload the Excel for whatever the child form which is becoming applicable to you. So in the case which you're going to present in front of you is a very basic case. However, we can show you another form also. But in the PPT, we have covered only AOC-4 Excel and the basic extract of auditor's report standalone and extract of board report Excel. That is you're going to do. Once you submit it, then once it get validated and all the form, whenever you're going to submit AOC-4 Excel, then it is going to get validated through the system. And if there are errors, that will be displayed to you. Once you correct those errors, then in that case, after correcting those errors, then you'll be able to proceed ahead and provide the Excel of the link form, that is a child form. Then you have to provide the attachments of all the forms. One is the parent form, then the child form, whatever is required to be provided, then you're required to add it out here. And then you have to proceed ahead with the generation of the project ID, and you are required to submit the form. So after you submit it, then your forms get downloaded. You have to go to your application history, and then you can proceed ahead with the filing. Now I will hand over this particular PPT to my colleague Ankit Negi, who's going to tell you that what all the pointers you have to take care while you are doing the filing of the form, the web form. Do's and don'ts while doing the web form. Please, Ankit, proceed ahead.
Thanks for providing the opportunity for this. While filing the AOC-4 offline form, first you have to refer the instruction kits. If you refer the instruction kit, number of the errors will be minimized while uploading the Excel. In this program, first you have to enter the SIN number of the company, or you can search the SIN number by entering the name of the company. And the rest of the field 1B, 1C, name of the company, address, email is pre-filled based on the SIN of the company. And in field number 3, you have to enter the financial year from and to date. Then the from date should be the not later than the date of incorporation. In the next slide, for a date of board or director meeting in which financial statement are approved, it is to be mandated. In 4B, you have to select from the drop down nature of the financial statement, adopted financial statement, provision or revision. In case of revision, you have to select the whether revision of financial statement, board report or both. In our case, we are selected the adopted financial statement. That's why the field 4B2 is not appearing. In case of revision, the field 4B2 will be appear. In signatory field, you have to give the details of the director who have signed the financial statement. In this, please note that while entering the DIN, Users are referring to the next step to access the master data, and because they have opened the multiple tab in the same browsers, the session may get log out, and they will face the error that DIN is not getting pre-filled. So user are recommended that if they want to access the MCA website for any information, they should refer the different browser. If in the date of field 5A, date of director meeting in which board report referred under section 130 was approved, it is mandatory for the public company and private company. For OPC company, the entire block is mandatory only if in field 4B2 it is selected director report or both, then it is optional. Otherwise, it is a mandatory for the OPC company. The date here should be the later than the financial year end date. And in this from this financial year, we can also provide the detail of IRP and resolution professionals. Now, next field is date of AGM details. So it is mandatory to give the date of AGM. User can select the yes if date of provided for BB date of urgent AGM, or if adopted in financial statement is chosen in 4B1 nature of financial statement, except for the OPC companies. For OPC companies, it is not required. If there is a extension of the AGM, then user can select in the 7D yes and enter the SRN of the GNL1, and it is extended due date is getting pre-filled. Now, in field A, you have to give the detail of the holding companies. If you have a holding company, then you can select yes and provide the SRN number, SIN number. And in field 80, if you have a subsidiary company, joint venture company, associate company, then please click on the yes. And if you select yes, then only link form will be appear after the submission of this AOC-4. If you select no, then it will not appear. Now come to the auditor details. For if the company, this field is mandatory, and when we enter the SRN, the rest of the field is pre-filled from based on the SRN. And if the company is a first financial year and they have not filed the additive one, because it is not mandatory for the first year, then they can enter JAD 8 times 9 and enter the details manually. And for other companies, the SRN is mandatory, and what we have faced is that users are entering the SRN of older financial years. So SRN of the additive one.
I would like to explain this in a little bit, because we have been finding that people are facing issues with regard to the additive and SRNs, and that is for the online and offline both. Then we have to provide the SRN of additive one and number of auditors who are being appointed to that additive one. Then it should be number should be greater than 0. What we have to see is that the additive one which we are providing should be associated with the company, and and it should fall for the same financial period for which the filing for the annual filing is being done. So please make sure that the SRN should be connected with the company and the period of appointment should be there. So as a current functionality, we are checking that at least the between from and to date of the auditor, then the end date of the financial year should fall between that from and to date. If it is not matching, system is going to show that please provide the valid SRN. And we have seen so many tickets being raised because of that. Please be assured that we have to provide that information. Ensure that the end date selected in AOC-4 should fall between financial selected in ADT1. And latest SRN of ADT1 can be accessed through check annual filing status, right? That we can do that. We can always get it. And one more thing which we were seeing, that the details of the member signing if the form is chosen, then detail of the member signing in, for above form were creating issues for the stakeholder. Now, for the sake of and brevity of the correcting the data, having the correct data into the system, the name of the member and the membership of the number of that particular member who's signing the balance sheet of the financial statements of the company has been made editable. Then the type of industry is required to be chosen. Select whether the schedule, and then we have to see whether the schedule 3 is applicable to the company. Please that no cannot be selected if CNI and NBFC is selected in field number 10A in the type of industry. Right? Select that whether the consolidated financial statement required or not in field number 11. If it's yes is selected, we are again repeating these points. Then the link file for AOC-4 CFS will be generated into the system. Then whether any transactions entered with the RPT, if you say it yes, enter disclosure, then user shall ensure whether any transaction entered with the related party. In case yes is selected in segment 3, then the user shall mandatorily file the link filing AOC-4 along with the AOC-2 along with the AOC-4. Kindly note that the link form AOC-2 shall be enabled when AOC-4 is submitted by the user. Then reporting of the corporate social responsibility, we have explained that earlier also, that report, if the user says that it is as per section or they want to report unspent CSR amount, then in that case, CSR2 shall be applicable for 24-25 onwards. Link filing will be applicable. However, if provisional or adopted financial statement is selected in field in nature of financial statement, link filing shall not be enabled. So don't get petrified because of this reason, because CSR2 will not be generated in case the nature of filing of statement is the provisional unadopted financial statements. In case not applicable is selected, link filing shall not be enabled. Then whether the secretarial audit is applicable, then number of observation made, then whatever your information you want to provide it out here, the number of fields is going to get generated in the director's report. So please be careful while you are providing this information. Once you click on to submit, the web form for the next applicable link form will appear. In my case, as I told you earlier, that we have only taken AOC-4 and auditor, the mandatory filing along with any AOC-4. The minimum is 2 link filings, which is auditor's report, extract of auditor's report, and extract of board report, which are compulsory for these particular filings. Now, this is the extract of auditor's report. Extract of auditor's standalone is required to be filed mandatory as a link form along with the main parent form AOC-4 and NAOC-4 NBFC. Then number of qualification reservations or the adverse mark or claimers are required to provide the number out here. Whether company's auditor report is applicable or not, you have to provide yes and no, and then proceed on to submit button. Then the web form for the next applicable form will appear like this. Extract of board report is required to be filed mandatory as a link form along with the main parent form AOC-4 and AOC-4 NBFC. In this, you have to provide the disclosure with regard to the meetings of the board meeting. And very importantly, you have to, as you can see the asterisk mark here, whether the company is an OPC company or a small company as at the end of the financial year end date, then you have to provide the number of the board meetings, then the committee meetings. The would be pre-filled based on the numbers will be pre-filled either in the Excel based on whatever information numbers you want to provide out here. In case MDT 77 is not filled, the fields will be editable, and in case of pre-fill, these fields shall be non-editable. So whatever data you have provided, if you have already done the filing for MGT 7 or 7A, then whatever data or information you have provided in that particular form with regard to the number of board meetings and committee meetings, that is going to get pre-filled and non-editable in nature. You cannot change the figure out here. That leads to this thing that if you provide information in one particular form, then second form, it will be pre-filled and non-editable in nature. Details of loans and guarantee investments or security given by the company as per section 186, then you have to provide yes and no. Are there any reportable transaction on which 186 has applied, whether the threshold exceeds 60% of the paid up capital? All these details is going to be asked. On submit, Excel will generate for AOC-4 and link forms. Then Excel generation complete, click for download. Once you all the information submitted in the web form, then user need to click on download Excel file. A zip file containing the Excel files of AOC-4 and link form shall be downloaded. So this is how the zip file, when you open it, you'll see it like this. AOC-4 for the SIN number of that particular company and year also. Auditor standalone, SIN number of the company along with the year of filing. Similarly, for the board report, SIN number of the company and the financial year for it has been filed. Format of zip file containing all the applicable Excels is shown to you and displayed to you. And these are the real-time filings which we have done into the system, and that the way it is being generated in the system is being taken as a screenshot and been displayed out here. So before you proceed ahead with the filing, you have to read through the, please understand the instruction of filing the Excel forms. They are very limited in nature. You are requested to understand it and read it. All the fields which are marked in gray are read-only fields. User will not be able to edit these fields. All the fields marked in blue color are editable and user should enter a valid value out here. Then the text length with the length validation is also written. Wherever the field is text, cut, copy, paste operations is a possibility, but limited to the Excel functionality, the way it is there normally available for any Excel sheet. And the date format should be DDMMYY format. Please read through it, and these because on the basis of that your filing is going to be affected, and on the basis of that your error are going to get generated. So if you want to avoid want to have the least number of the errors into the system, then you are requested to go through it and do the filings as such. Now, if you say these are the gray fields, these are the fields which has already been information which has been already provided by you in the web form. So that is why I am telling you that the Excel which are coming to you are tailor-made and they are non-editable in the Excel. Then enter the you have to enter the field that is balance sheet, and field 2 detailed balance sheet items. Amount in rupees should be displayed and applicable in case yes is selected in field 10B. Previous year data gets pre-filled if applicable and editable in case valid filing is available in the system for the immediate financial year. In case previous year pre-filled data is changed, user may provide reason for such changes. If date is entered in figures as at the end of previous reporting period in rupees field, then the amount fields falling under the field shall be mandatory. Entering current year data is mandatory for all the fields. If any field is not applicable to the company, please don't leave it without providing any data. Please proceed and provide the information. Don't leave it blank. Zero is allowed to be entered. Make sure that the sum of the total liabilities is equal to the total assets. Similarly, for details of term of borrowing unsecured or borrowing details of short-term borrowings unsecured, the previous data gets pre-filled and editable in case valid filings is available in the system for immediate financial year. In case, as I told you, that's a common functionality. If you want to change the previous year field data, you can do that. There's no problem in doing that, but it is advisable that you provide the system may not ask you that, but you may provide the reasons for doing such changes. Entering current data is mandatory in all the fields. You're going to get errors, lots of error if you're not providing the information with regard to the mandatory fields. If any field is not applicable to the company, please don't leave the field blank. Zero is allowed to be entered. Field out of the above total aggregate amount guaranteed by the directors is mandatory. Zero can also be entered. And if long-term borrowings unsecured is greater than zero. In field C, enter details with regard to long-term loans and advances, unsecured considered good. In field D, enter details of long-term loans and advances, doubtful. Sum of net long-term loans and advances, unsecured considered good, and net long-term loans and advances, doubtful, should be less than or equal to the long-term loans and advances under the end balance sheet. Entering current year data, we are repeating it again and again. Entering current year data is mandatory in all the fields. That is details of trade receivables. If any field is not applicable to the company, please don't leave the current data as blank. Zero is allowed to be entered is allowed to be entered. Sum of net trade receivable should be equal to trade receivable under the head balance sheet for the respective year. Here also, all the fields are mandatory. If any field is not applicable to the company, please don't leave it blank. And the field 0 is allowed to be entered. Now, there's a stakeholder requirement which may come that the zeros are required to be put in. Why so many zeros are required? Because we want people to be conversant of the fact that they have done it on purpose. It's not that they later on come and say that it has been provided by the system and we were not able to correct it, or it just went over our this thing, our view, or our this thing, or we just forgot to put a this effect into it. So when you are putting a zero out here, we want you to be very cognizant of the fact that you are the one who has put in zero. Entering value in the number of shares, total nominal value, and total paid up value is mandatory for all the fields in the table. If any field is not applicable to the company, please don't leave it blank. Total premium field is mandatory only when the number of shares is greater than 0. If you are provided the premium, if you have number of shares, if you provided are more than 0, it could be a possibility that if the number of shares are there, then the total premium field, even if you have not taken a premium, you can provide a 0 out here. System will allow you to do that. Proceed ahead with that. Entering value in the number of shares, total nominal value, and amount. It is a continuation of this, so I'll not repeat it. So now we'll come to the information with particulars of profit and loss account. Now, if you have provided the figures at the end of the previous year reporting period field, then all the amount fields falling under this field shall become mandatory. Then you cannot leave it. So if you have provided the previous year figure if you have provided the year, if year is there, then you will not be, then all the fields with regard to whatever is there, you have to provide that. And in case if it is pre-filled, then you can edit it also, that's not a problem. But providing the information out there is a mandatory scenario. Entering current year data is also mandatory for all the fields. If something is not applicable, please don't leave it blank. 0 is allowed to be entered. Kindly note that the entire section of statement of profit and loss account shall be displayed and applicable. In case yes is selected in field 10B, whether Schedule 3 of the Companies Act is applicable to you or not. In case you have not if you have not said as yes, then this field will not be displayed to you. But if you say that Schedule 3 is applicable to you, then in that case, you are required to provide the data in this particular field also. Previous year data gets pre-filled and editable in case valid filings is available in the system for the immediate financial year. Previous year data gets pre-filled and editable in case valid filings are available in the system for immediate financial year. In case previous year pre-filled data is changed, user may provide reasons for such changes. Entering current year data is mandatory for all the fields. These fields are very well aware, everybody is aware, whosoever is doing the annual filing, that what are the things which they have to consider, and while it's a replica of whatever you have created in a hard copy. So that is what you are required to do. Just be careful with regard to that whatever is in blue is editable and whatever is in gray is non-editable in nature. Or it is read-only field where you cannot make any changes. because it could be auto-calculated field also, and that is where the formula could have been written by the coder. EPS, that is basic and EPS diluted value, should match with the basic earning per share after extraordinary items, and diluted earning per share after extraordinary items in 1. Statement of profit and loss for current reporting period. Income in foreign currency and expenditure in foreign currency should match with the value entered in field total earnings in our foreign exchange and total expenditure in foreign exchange. Under the head details of earnings in foreign exchange and details of expenditure in foreign exchange. Total number of products and services category should be greater than equal to 1 in case domestic turnover, that is sum of sale of goods manufactured and traded and sale of services, and or export turnover, sum of sale of goods manufactured and traded and sale of services in statement of profit and loss account is greater than 0. If turnover is 0, please enter number of activities as 0. These are the miscellaneous fields. The value should be unique in each observation entered in. Provide details of sectoral qualification or observation or other remarks in sectoral audit report. Please be sure whatever information you are providing here, it is going to get pre-filled in the e-director's report, in the extract of director's report. So whatever numbers of the observation you're going to provide out here, those number of fields will get regenerated in the extract of director's report. You are requested to enter a valid membership number and COP number, because at field level validations, when the error report is going to get generated, it's going to get validated out there. Then there's a declaration part. This is a declaration which is being done by the board of directors. Declaration is mandatory field. Select the valid relevant designation. Enter a valid DIN or PAN. Similarly, complete certificate by practicing professional. The web form shall be certified by the chartered accountant in whole-time practice or the cost accountant or the company secretary in whole-time practice by digitally signing the web form. Select the relevant category of the professional, whether he or she is an associate or a fellow. Enter the membership number. The certification is not mandatory for the small or OPC companies. Save the current Excel and open the next Excel provided in the zip file. This is going to be your next Excel, that is extract of auditor's report, right? Here, the number of qualification, reservation or adverse remark of the disclaimer. If it is true, the two fields are going to get generated. Wherever there's going to be adverse remark or the reservation or qualification, then in that case, you are required to provide the information, auditor's comment on the same. Rows would be generated based on the number provided in the web form. Maximum 20 rows can be generated. If the number of rows exceeds beyond 20, the user can provide details in optional attachment. Responsibility of management and those charged with the governance of the financial statements. There you are required to provide the information. The maximum word limit out here is 1,000. Up to 1,000 you can provide it, and whatever is relevant out there, you can provide the information out here. Auditor's responsibilities for audit of the standalone financial statement. These are the mandatory fields which are required to provide while doing the filing of the form. Then if you remember the web form where you have said that CARO is applicable to you when you are doing the e-auditor's report, that is extract of the auditor's report, then in that case, you have to enter the comments on the items specified under the CARO. The field be enabled and mandatory in case yes is selected whether CARO is applicable to the company, that is the parent form which we have done the filing. Details on the comments provided shall be mandatory in case unfavorable and disclaimer remarks selected in auditor's comment on the report. Save the current Excel and open the next Excel provided in the zip file. This is the next child form, that is extract of board report, where the company name will be provided. And then the number of the board meetings. The basis, the number of the board meetings, numbers you have provided, committee meetings you have provided, that much fields are going to get generated, and you will not be able to add any other row into the form. So this is not a issue with regard to the form. It is the way you have provided the information in the parent form and the child form, web form, which when you have provided this thing. If you have to make certain changes, then you can go to that particular link form and you can make the changes. And the next, the created Excel will be available for you to make the edit upon. But if you have done the changes in the parent form, then please, then entire Excel is required to be regenerated. Based on the number entered shall be regenerated mandatory. If the value entered is up to 15, details is provided in Excel. If value entered is greater than 15, then user shall provide details up to 15 in the Excel, and exceeding can be provided in the optional attachment. 0 can be allowed to be entered in case yes is selected in whether the company is an OPC or a small company. So the number of the board meetings are not required to be provided in case you are a OPC or a small company. And the company is having one director. Director's responsibility statement. These are enter important disclosures as required in field number 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are self-explanatory fields. I need not have to go through into it in detail. Then there are auditor remarks. Whatever the numbers of disclaimers or reservation or adverse remark was there, please understand those many fields are going to get regenerated and you have to provide a director's comment on that. Similarly, for whatever you have provided in AOC form as a secretarial auditor remark, that numbers are going to get regenerated and will be displayed onto your screen. Then there are other disclosures, complete other disclosures related to deposits covered under Chapter 5 of Companies Act under Rule 8.5 and in field 23F. Fields in other disclosures related to deposits, whether the company is an OPC or small company as at the end of the financial year. In field 23F1, enter deposits accepted during the year, enter the required details in 23F and H2I. F2H. Then there are the disclosures with regard to the other statutory laws which you have to provide here. Then you are required to provide the declaration. All fields are mandatory. Please save the Excel file and then proceed ahead with the Excel upload. One by one, you have to go ahead and do the AOC-4 Excel upload. Once you do the Excel upload, then after uploading one Excel, as I told you earlier also, you will get a error file if it gets validated, and then you get an error report. The error report will look something like this. Unless and until you get that corrected, you will not be able to allow to be proceeded in the first line. Once you submit AOC-4 Excel, you'll have to get it validated. Once it gets validated, then you'll be able to proceed with the uploading of extract of auditor's report standalone Excel. And then you have to, again, if it gets validated, then you have to proceed with the extract of board report Excel. Please understand that you have to go and click onto the error message to get the error file. It is very much detailed. It will provide you that what is the error and what is the change, what are the changes you are required to do, that you have to figure it out. But it will give you a very detailed error, which is easier to update. Once you correct the information, then you're again required to upload the Excel and get it validated again. Then after that, you have to proceed ahead with the attachment wherever Excel is uploaded, so the changes are accurately reflected in the document. Then the attachment section comes into the picture. Please attach all the material attachment and submit the proceed to the attachment of the next link form. Overall size of the form including attachment should be up to 10 MB. These are the attachment. You can, in optional attachment, you can do the 5 attachment of 2 MB each. That is what you have to do. That these are the attachments for the extract of auditor's report and extract of board report. So supposedly, if your details or board meetings or committee meetings are more than 15, then you can proceed ahead. You can create optional attachment and attach it, and multiple attachments can be done in board report. Once you have submitted against the SRN, then AOC-4 is submitted against the SRN number. You then proceed ahead. You have to click on to OK and proceed ahead. Now, after submitting the e-form, the user is navigated to the My Application. Here you have to go into the pending for action. Then you have to click the download of PDF button. This is how you're going to do the filing for this thing. Now I have been, I have done the part of the filing of a particular form. What are the points which you have to consider while you are editing the form scenario? User can edit the form by clicking on edit button on application history page. A pop-up message will be displayed when user expands parent form, accordion or panel, depicting that if user changes any details in parent form, then all the applicable link forms would get reset. Below mentioned pop-up message will be displayed. Any update changes done in the form will lead to resetting of data in all link form. Would you like to proceed? Yes and no. The page displayed to the user will be based on following scenarios. If the user leaves the page after clicking on Save button on the parent form, accordion or panel, only parent form, accordion, panel, and first section before save on the panel will be editable to the user. User needs to click onto the save to enable the second section of the page where submit button is displayed. So supposedly you are filling in the form and you have not you will and you have to leave the page before you were able to fill it fully. Then in that case, unless you have done the save in the first page, you will be landing on the same page where you have to make the changes, and then link form accordion panel will not be visible to the user at this point of time. As I told you, only on the submit of the parent form, you'll be able to see the parent, the child form. After success submit, the form filing process would continue as per the normal process. Second scenario, if the user leaves the page after clicking on submit button on the parent form accordion panel, all the forms applicable to the user will be shown as per the last submission of the parent form. If the user updates any detail and click on submit button in the parent form, then a complete blank Excel set, only previous year figures and information provided in respective web form scenario shall be pre-filled will be downloaded. Blank Excels are required to be generated in this scenario as the entire functionality of link forms, web field generation and Excel generation is dependent upon parent form, web form fields. If the user edits the link form, supposedly I have to make a change, a very small change in my extract of director's report or auditor's report. Then all the according panels applicable to the user will be shown as per latest submission of parent form. User then open any of the applicable link form, accordion or panel, and fill up in the data and submit the link form. Complete Excel set will be downloaded with all Excels pre-filled with the latest uploaded data, except for the form for which web data is modified. Blank Excel shall be generated for the relevant link form for which modification is carried out. Exception to this is in case if you are changing anything in the extract of auditor's report, then extract of director's report will also get regenerated. Because I told you earlier that whatever data which you are providing with regard to the auditor observation or the remarks or disclaimers which are there, on the basis of that number, the director's report will also be regenerated. If the number chosen there are 2, then similarly, then two data points are required to be provided in extract of director's report. So that is why it is getting regenerated along with the auditor's standalone report. If the user edit the extract of auditor's standalone and submit the extract of auditor report, and user will be able to update and resubmit the extract of director's report applicable for web form and Excel template. Now, what we have seen is while we have been seeing quite a lot of issues, we have taken some of the issues with regard to the all the annual filing forms, because these forms are these issues are very generic in nature. So we are just taking it out for the understanding of all the stakeholders. Then we'll take up a question and answer session. PDF version incorrect. Shows when the user download PDF affixes DSC, but then upload. Form version updates So you get a message that form version is not updated or it is required, because what you have done is that you have just downloaded the form and you click onto the edit button and then you have just downloaded the form. You have not downloaded the version. So that is why what you have to supposed to do, PDF become outdated, submit the form again after clicking on edit button, then re-download the form, affix the DSC, then upload the same. Do not use the old PDF. Personal details mismatch appears during login. Name is not as per the PAN or incorrect date of birth, not in MMDD format. Verify name matches with the PAN. Ensure date of birth is correct. Select professional role to validate PAN. If error still persists, then you are requested to raise a ticket. Invalid SRN of ADT1. Error while mentioning SRN of ADT1 while filing AOC-4 form. As SRN mentioned is not approved and does not relate to the same financial year for which AOC-4 is being filed. We have got multiple tickets onto that account. We have been sharing the information to the stakeholders over the tickets also. We are also educating them that where to check that which is the latest ADT1 for SRN which is required. You may raise a ticket, you can ask the information that will be provided to you by the help desk team. Verify SRN of ADT1 is approved and belongs to the same financial year for the same company and for which the AOC-4 is being filed. Incorrect SRN reference while filling form ADT1 casual vacancy. Error while filing ADT1 of casual vacancy in SRN column. We have provided a very bold information in the web form itself that users are required to provide the ADT1 SRN. Then also we have seen the tickets coming on to us as per the current functionality, as per the way form is being designed. You have to provide the SRN of ADT1 through which you have been appointed. Then you are required to appoint that. You please mention that, not edit the SRN. Invalid PAN of auditor in ADT1. User is getting error of invalid PAN while appointing sole proprietorship auditor. User generally select auditor's firm in case appointment of sole auditor proprietorship firm. Appointment of sole auditor firm, user need to select individual instead of auditor firm. You are not a firm, maybe from the institute perspective, you are a firm, but from the legal perspective, from MCA system, you are an individual who are working as a firm. DSC issues, DSCs are not registered, DSC expired or outdated, or role incorrect in profile. Use latest DSC software, ensure correct role, update DSC if expired, check that all DSCs are valid and appearing green with the green tick. And also make sure that whenever you are doing a signing from a professional aspect, then you should log in through your professional login credentials. User ID already exists while creating user ID. User account already exists with the email DIN, PAN DIN. User ID previously created and you have forgotten the password or account got suspended. You will not be able to create a same user with the same PAN number or DIN because the system has got it. So you are required to use the forget user ID or forgot password functionality for resetting your ID in the V3 portal. User ID already exists while updating role in profile of user. User account already exists with email, PAN, DIN. User ID previously created user ID in V2. Use forget user ID password to recover user ID and reset the password in the V2 portal. Merge V2 and user with V3 ID. For merge V3 ID, log into V3 portal with V3 user ID and open login profile and merge V2 user ID accordingly. While merge in, mention V2 ID in capital. Profile updation required. SIN not appearing in director's login. Profile is not updated. Updated profile as director role to populate SIN details. Multiple tab open issue. We have seen so many issues coming up because of the multiple tab. Use only single MCA tab only while you are doing and you are logging into through one browser. When you are opening the multiple tabs, then you'll face the error. It's a security concern which has been introduced in the recent forms and will be applicable in all the forms. Then you are requested to use only single MCA tab. List of shareholders is not visible. List of shareholders are not appearing in MGT7. It is because of the functionality that it's a large Excel file. The shareholders list is not visible in the downloaded form. And this is how the functionality has been developed. Type of company change after 31st March. File MGT7 instead of 7A and vice versa. Not mention the same type as on the financial year end date. Mention the type of company in the field 5A of the MGT7 as on the financial year end date. These fields are pre-filled, but they are editable also. Please proceed ahead with the file editing it, and then you can proceed ahead with the filing. Declaration field to mention DIN of director is disabled. If selected yes in field 3(6) in form MGT15. So declaration field to mention DIN of director is disabled if selected yes in field MGT15, where it is the field which asks you whether chairman of the meeting appointed yes, then only chairman DSC and company secretary DSC is applicable. If no, then these directors field will get enabled. So if you have filed NGT15 and you have chosen that there was a chairman who was appointed for the meeting, then only the chairman and the company secretary will be able to proceed ahead and do the affix their DSC. Save button is not visible in form AOC-4. User need to click on each save button available in the form, and clicking first save button, next save will be enabled. User forget to click on each save button available in the form. Change email ID of the company or LLP in the company master. What you have to do is, for updating the email ID of the company, user need to create the user ID of the company and LLP. And in profile page, there is an option to update the email ID of the company or LLP. Once email ID is updated in login profile, the same will be reflected on the master data. This is all from our side. If we have got certain query, then we can.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, and very detailed presentation covering many technical glitches being faced by users. I have few question answer. Can we go with that one by one?
Yes.
Okay. Let me start. First of the query, in general, the level of checking, the query which I have also observed and received from many members. See, we are giving offline utility, and before that, we are asking the user to enter certain basic data, right, madam?
Right,
In a
sir.
parent form.
Yes.
And then only the Excel utility will get downloaded based on the input data.
Correct, sir.
But the most generally, the users are facing the issue when they complete the form in all the respect, in offline, online, whatever, then affix the DSC, and while uploading the completed form, they are getting error like ADT1 SRN is not valid or something like that, which is pertaining to the minimum basic data. Are you getting my point? Users are getting errors at the last stage of the filing of the uploading of the form regarding the data which are as a minimum data before uploading the offline utility.
Sir,
So you got my point?
I got your point. The point here
So
when
what happens in that, let me complete now. What happened in that scenario, the moment they change the basic data, the Excel utility will get automatically changed as per the programming, right? So whatever exercise has been done in the existing utilities and generated form will get useless for me, because I have to again go for filling data in fresh downloaded utility just because of minor error in the basic minimum requirement which is there in the beforehand. So what we can suggest, I don't know technicality, what we can develop that whenever user is required to input the basic data in parent form, the very that moment when then submit the button before downloading the Excel sheet, the system should check the all the respect that data which is already been filled, so that later on again checking it will go through. Got my point? Seema madam?
Sir, I got your point, but this is how the functionality is. Supposedly, the ADT1 SRN, which has been provided by you, is incorrect in nature. Then you have what
Yeah.
you have to do is you have to go and make the changes in the web form again, because that is the basic information which you're going to provide. On the basis of that, the details are going to get pre-filled into the system. So even though for you, your perspective, it is a small change, but from system perspective, the functionality is like that. If you're going to make any changes or edit or any of the information, that is why, sir, I've been putting it, submitting it again and again, that while you're providing the information in the parent form, you have to be very cognizant of the fact that the changes you should be providing the correct data. If you do not provide the correct data, system will throw an error. And in that case, if you're changing the parent form, that lead to the change in the creation of the new Excel altogether, because you are changing the details in the parent form. This is how the functionality has been developed, sir.
That is what is I'm asking. Can
Yeah.
we change this functionality by putting one check before allowing the user to download offline utility, so that the whatever data filed or filled in the parent form will get this checked with and cross-verified with the backend system, which system is doing at the end. What I'm trying to convey.
I have understood it, sir. I will
तो क्या होगा कि
take
इससे
your.
मैडम टू बी वेरी मतलब इन अदर वर्ड आई एम कमिंग कंक्लूडिंग दिस कि उससे क्या होगा कि लास्ट मोमेंट पे जो यूजर को पता चलता है और उनको फ्रेश यूटिलिटी डाउनलोड करके फ्रेश फाइलिंग करना पड़ रहा है, सब डुप्लीकेशन करना पड़ रहा है, तो वो डाउनलोड जब एक्सेल यूटिलिटी करते हैं उससे पहले ही जो भी डेटा एज ऑफ नाउ उसने फाइल आउट किया है वो चेक हो जाए सिस्टम में, सबमिट बटन प्रेस करने के टाइम पे, तो उस पोर्शन तक वापस कोई एरर हमें नहीं चाहिए। तो उससे क्या होगा कि हमारा इतना तो रेस्ट एश्योर हो गया कि बाकी का ऑफलाइन यूटिलिटी का ही मेरा चेकिंग बचता है एट द टाइम ऑफ अपलोडिंग द फाइनल फॉर्म। दैट इज व्हाट इज सबमिशन। इफ LTI team can develop that functionality, that is what is बाकी otherwise I am aware के meticulously data डालना है, that is okay. Again, next query, duplication of board meeting dates in MGT7 and abstract of the board report. So वहाँ वो कैसे कर सकते हो, एक लीगल इश्यू है या कैसा है, आई डोंट नो। द क्वेरी इज कि भाई दोनों जगह पे हमसे बोर्ड मीटिंग मांगी जा रही है दोनों फॉर्म में, तो
Sir,
उसके लिए
that is
हाँ
a require MCA requirement. So we are here. Whatever is required technically, these are the requirements, that whatever the data points which has been created in the form is as per the requirement which has been given by MCA. Any changes in these requirements will require the indulgence from the MCA. So we'll take it down from here.
तो yes, I request the MCA person please note it down. We will submit also from the ICSI these queries, right? So
But sir,
whenever there is
but-
cognizance required from LTA part, please do accordingly, or cognizance required from the MCA part, we will have a process, no problem.
But sir, as I have submitted that if you have already done the filing of MGT7 7A and you have provided the details of the board meeting, that is getting pre-filled. You do not have to provide it again. But if you are providing it here, then it's get pre-filled in the MGT7. Even though it's the information which is being asked in two different forms, but the data is getting pre-filled if you have provided that. It's just that people may be trying to correct that data. That is what the problem is. If the data is pre-filled, I think that should not be an issue for the stakeholders to proceed it, sir.
Okay. Okay, next query. Kindly confirm if a private limited company who has filed XBRL in last year, that is 24, 23, 24, in the year 24, 25, company become NBFC. So it's required to file XBRL or AOC-4 NBFC with Indian AS.
So this company is required to file AOC for NBFC because because XBRL filing is exempted for the NBFC. So XBRL rules are not applicable for NBFC companies.
Okay. Okay. Next query. For submission of form, once we submit certain details on online like SRN, ADT ones, and download the entire file, and while we are submitting Excel sheet, we came to know the SRN. I think it is already covered, right? Entire exercise will become redundant. And option to edit SRN, the same things applies in other detail also. In that work getting cumbersome, I think it is already addressed in first
you have
slide.
already,
Okay?
yes.
And next question is, we are filing Form AOC-4 while entering the premium amount in the total premium column relating to buyback in a section 4 share capital raised during the reporting period of the form, and save the particular section of the form showing error that field not filed in expected form, specifically at the end of the year premium column. Please advise how to fill the data as a premium figure in that column.
Sir, we would for commenting onto that particular scenario. If the gentleman has raised any FO ticket, you can provide us the query in the FO ticket. We'll reply him accordingly, because by just looking into the information which is provided, we're not in a position to do that. That's why it is the system is asking for that. So very
Okay,
specific issue, sir. We would request that if a FO ticket could be provided to us, then we'll take it up, individual cases. But as of now, we would want to take up the generic issues, sir.
Okay. Okay. So that user is requested to please raise ticket with this description. The proper officer will deal the case accordingly, right? While filing Form MGT-7 for a private company, ISIN tab is still not enabled since the dematerialization of non-small company is now mandatory. Would you please guide why this field is not yet active in the form and how we can proceed without entering ISIN except clarification letter?
So
So ISIN column is enabled or not? वही question है.
ISIN is only mandatory if the company has issued any share during the financial years.
But it is not mandatory in case of other cases, right?
Right.
So even though it is mandatory to have ISIN for a company other than small company, as per law, that is different issue, not connected with this filing, right? MGT-7.
In the reporting in MGT-7, you don't have to provide it mandatory.
Okay, got it, got it. In the form AOC-2, filing of SRN number of MGT-14 should be optional and not mandatory, as the filing of MGT-14 for related party transaction is not applicable for private company.
So before that field, SRN of MGT-14, there is a field whether the company is exempt for filing for passing the special resolution. If user is select yes, then the SRN of MGT-14 is not mandatory. If user,
it's an optional, it's a conditional mandatory field, sir.
Okay, if user say no, special
Yes.
resolution not filed, then it will become not mandatory, right?
Right.
Okay, okay, got it. If company do not have any material related party transaction and there are no RPT on arm length basis, that is all RPT are non-material and on arm length basis. However, company may have other RPT. Explain about its reporting in AOC-4 and AOC-2. Can I repeat that question?
no. So only the transactions which are covered in section 188 can be reported through the AOC-2. If there is any transaction which is not covered in section 188 and user want to report that, it is not allowed to enter in section in AOC-2.
However, he can provide it as an optional attachment within the form AOC-4 if he wants to do this thing. So AOC-2 is very limited form, which will cater to the transactions related under section 188. So any transaction which he considers as RPT, but that is not reported or is not required to be reported under section 188, that can be provided as an optional attachment or an explanatory statement. The system does not have a provision for that.
I think the question, it is related to exempted RPT, right?
Right.
So exempted RPT हमें mention नहीं करना है, or we can mention as a optional attach, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay. From AOC-4, in director report, director responsibility statement does not fit completely in the given space. What to be done?
Sir, it is an extract of board report. It is not a replication of the director responsibility statement which you are giving in the director's report. We have been categorically saying that you have to, whatever the areas of operation, whatever the details which are required to be reported, you can report it in 1000 character limit. We cannot have a nth number of in software system. We do not have a this thing kind of unlimited kind of information which can be taken. So whatever is the important aspect that can be provided in this particular field, and rest can be, because in any case you are attaching the board report that is part of your AOC-4 form, then you can proceed ahead with the filing.
Okay, so fitting data should be entered. Rest can be as per the attachment.
Right.
Again, 1 minute. In case of AOC-4 CFS linked form, filed payment is doubled. In that case, we are still need to file AOC-4 CFS separately.
If you have filed the AOC-4 CFS as a linked form, then there is no requirement to file it separately. Separate filing is only allowed if the AOC-4 is filed in View 2. Then you can file the separate form AOC-4 CFS.
Okay. In AOC-1, if company has only joint venture or associate company and doesn't have any subsidiary company, but it is observed that AOC-1 is required to select at least one subsidiary company compulsorily, and 0 is not acceptable. Kindly guide.
0 is acceptable.
0 is acceptable in AOC-1 in number of the subsidiary fields.
So I think it is acceptable. User can go with entering the 0, right?
Right. If you've got only joint ventures or the associate companies, you do not have to mention any subsidiary company, even though you don't have it. So you are allowed to put 0 into it.
Okay. Unable to enter more than 15 board meeting in the board report, kindly suggest.
Sir, as an optional attachment, we have already clarified it during the PPT also.
Okay. How to submit link form CSR2 in case of AOC-4 XBRL?
It is
Once you submitted the AOC-4 XBRL, the CSR2 link form will be generated for the financial year 2024 and 25. And if you are filing for the previous years, then you have to file the separate form.
You have to file it independently.
Okay. Can we change the nature of principal business after generating SRN in case of AOC-4?
Then you have to go and edit the form. That is how you can do
same thing as we discussed. Again, whole exercise, right? It is a basic requirement. I think it is as per parent.
We do not know whether the question is for the offline or online form. So offline form, though it is going to get generated, but you can, whatever fields till the time you have submitted, you can go and edit the form at any point of time, sir.
Okay. ADT1 for first auditor is not mandatory for as per the Companies Act 13. Why the form is making mandatory? Kindly suggest. I think it is already covered as regard to the Z99, right?
Right, sir.
Again, one repeated request, that is Schedule 3 requires figures to be rounded up in 1,000 and millions. But however, form has not that kind of the facility.
So that is a requirement of MCA, that they want the absolute figures. We cannot change it, sir.
Okay. Currently facing while preparing the form is I am not able to upload because the message PDF download could not be completed at this time. Please try again. I tried to upload from the different timing and different browsers. Still the issue persists.
So, sir, our technical team is looking into it. So the number of such instances have reduced in the last few days actually, but we are still seeing some intermittent cases like this. So we are helping users as and when we receive the tickets of this nature. And many times these issues get resolved when they try it after some time. But if it is not getting resolved, then our help desk team basically helps them to download.
Again, when I visited MCA, some of your staff has also advised. I also repeat that for the benefit of the stakeholder, that while submitting the form, and going for downloading the same form, please give pause of 10 seconds, I think, right?
Yes.
So that system will be able to generate the form immediately. Sometime क्या होता है कि हम submit करने के बाद तुरंत download section में चले जाते हैं, even though the success message is there, right? So we have to wait for 10 seconds before going to the download, and repeated download clicking will trouble on the system.
Yes.
That is why the error may come, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it correct or wrong?
No, sir, correct. Very correct.
In
Okay,
fact, we are
thank you.
trying to stop it technically as well, this repeated clicks on the download button, right? Because every click basically triggers a download action inside our system. So we recognize that we are trying to say that once it is clicked, till the download is complete, will not enable it. So I think that work is already in progress.
Okay, next question. In director report Excel section 186 part, if one party has one or more transaction like sales purchase transaction along with the provided guarantee or loans, but the Excel is allowing to select only one type of the transaction, and second, we cannot allow to enter the repeated name at the below that party. Any suggestion on this?
Repeated names is allowed in the Excel.
It is not allowing. User is saying it is not allowed. Same PAN number is not allowed.
Earlier, when we launched the form, that time we have the issue, but now user can repeat the same PAN numbers.
Okay, so you are confirming that now we can enter
Yes.
same party, same name, same PAN number for different type of the transaction under RPT mode, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Once a small company or OPC option is selected, all non-applicable fields are still required to be filled. Why? This should be disabled. ये system related है, sir. Again, I am repeating. Have you got that question?
Sir, it is not the functionality. Why we are asking this question is because we want to disable all the non-applicable fields. But if the stakeholder is coming across this issue, we would request him to raise a ticket and please bring it to our notice. We'll have a look into it, sir.
Okay, so I request user raising particularly this question. If you have any instances like this, please highlight it in the tickets with a screenshot and marking in the screenshot. They will resolve. Okay, next question. While filing the first time annual filing, AOC-4, form is asking ADT1, but it was not mandatory to file now. Again, I think it is Z99, it is okay. It is okay. Next question is, this is in relation to the company incorporated on 17th November. I think specific question, but since the question is I already started, I need to complete it. This is in relation to company incorporated on 17th November 23 and first financial year of the company from 17th November 23 to 31st December 24 pursuant to order of regional director. The due date of AGM is 30th September 25. The AGM of company was held in time on that is 30th September, and we are filing the AOC-4. They are asking for additional fees, though there is an extension till December 25. Please guide me.
Sir, the extension is not given for the not holding of the AGM. The extension is given for the filing of AOC-4 and MGT-7 form. I think we need to clarify it to the stakeholders that the extension is not given for the extension will only be given in case you have got the GNL1 SRN. In case you have not taken the extension for filing of the holding of AGM and taken the appropriate approval from the ROC, then in that case the system will be asking you for the additional fees. This is as per the approved functionality, but we may look into the ticket which has been raised because as you are aware, sir, extension is not given for not holding the AGM. It is for the filing of the relevant forms, sir.
Okay. And one last suggestion or query is general. whenever we are filing any form, the sometimes system gives normal error, routine error. However, the specific technical errors are there. Let's say, for example, try again later. Sometimes it shows the incorrect version. Sometimes it shows system access denied. Sometimes it shows DAC is not registered. So in many cases, specific issues are there, and system is not prompting that specific issues to the stakeholder. So we have to go with trial and error, trials one by one, एक एक चीजें हम देखते जाते हैं, तब जाके हमें लास्ट में पता चलता है कि रियली गलती ये थी और सिस्टम हमें जनरल क्वेरीज दे रहा था. तो उस पे एक जनरल सजेशन है कि वो एक टेक केयर के लिए कि वॉट एवर द टेक्निकल इश्यूज, इट शुड बी रिफ्लेक्टेड ऑन द स्क्रीन इन एरर मैसेज. I am giving an example that DAC of all the partners have been attached in, say, for example, LLP 8 or forms like that. The system is showing that the DAC is not registered, though he has registered all the DAC, but they are not able to find out whose DAC is not registered. Since there is 2 or more DAC in the form, even auditor's signatures is also there. The system is not specifically mentioning the details of dean or pen associated with wrong DAC. Sometimes this is happening, and user has also raised the ticket, but sometimes it is not getting proper. So in general, I am suggesting LTI to raise the specific error message to the user. So at the beforehand, they can understand what is exactly their mistake, and they can safely solve the issue. Very, very first step.
Sure, sir. We'll look into the suggestion being forwarded by you, sir. We will surely bring it to our technical team notice, and we'll take care of it, sir.
So as of now, all the queries from various stakeholders has got resolved or answered by you. In general, as per the experience and feedback from various members, and also experience from my own office also, the filing we are ready to file, but still the scenario is that sometimes the system is working little bit with glitches. So we are ready to file. We will dare to comply all the things. Just we need smooth, hassle-free functioning of the portal. Kindly ensure this, and as and when we get the balance sheet and audit reports in our table as a company secretary or as a governance professional, we are not in a position to make it further delay. We will not wait for the last moment. We will not wait. We are ready to file it. Anyhow, we are ready to complete it. But due to certain repeated errors, sometimes we got the resolution properly from the ticket, but on next day, same error which also happening with a different client. So try to fix these repeated errors at the system level. So at the end, win-win situation will happen, and the filing ratio, compliance ratio in the Indian corporates will definitely go to increase at a minimum or at a maximum level, which is expected in any other foreign countries. So India will have a compliant country from the global perspective. All the queries have been received. I request team LTI if any final remarks, MCA, final remarks or concluding remarks from them, and then I will conclude by giving my vote of thanks. Any final remarks, ma'am, from your side?
Yes, sir. Just request for all the team members, the fellow professionals, to please start doing the filing. You may be coming across certain issues, but at the last moment, if you go and try it, there'll be too much of pressure onto the system, which will lead to more problems, sir. Please request everyone that they should start doing their compliances with regard to the MGT 7A, because the final date is falling on the same date, and it'll be too much of a pressure. Don't wait for the last minutes for the compliances perspective. That is the only request which we want you to handle. And sir, there are certain instruction kits or the awareness things which has come to our notice, and we are providing the creatives for that on Twitter, or any of the MCA system also is available. Requested everyone to go through them. They are the right enlighters for us to understand a very small problem which may delay your work by 2 days or 3 days. For that matter, even 1 hour delay is a delay from from our aspect also. So request everyone to go through the instruction kits. Well, they're very well drafted. You'll be able to understand the things. We are trying to give as much as awareness as is possible. Any changes which are to be brought into the system will not be done on immediate basis. You have to do the compliances. Kindly try to do it ASAP, so that whatever problems which are coming, maybe you have faced one issue. For others, it will stand resolved because the RCA will be done by the team and they'll be able to take it forward. So that is a request which we want to do to you, through you, the institute, to all the fellow members.
Okay, madam. Just while you just concluding this, and I got two message. System has encountered an error while processing your request. ये repeatedly आ रही है, madam, सबको. तो इसका आप please take up with the system. I will share the screenshot with the ICSI team, and we'll revert them on you. While discussing on this, the members are doing the work and they facing the issue, and I thought it appropriate. And one another issue, though it is not related to annual filing, that is just for awareness. CFS form, change the request form, right? CRF form. In one unique case, I will forward to the department that ROCs and different ROCs are dealing with the CRF form, right? But they need to be instructed from the MCA team that these are the SOP while dealing with and processing with the change request form. तो क्या एक uniformity maintain हो जाएगी across the country, and rejection of CRF form will get reduced. And by that, annual filing is depending on the master data correct, whether there is correct data or not. Because in many cases, master data still not correct and annual filing उसके वजह से नहीं हो पा रहा है. तो CRF form के लिए एक uniform guideline and SOP to be released for the different ROCs, so dealing ROCs, so they can on the same page or same level. So this is from my side. And I again very thankful to the MCA and LTI team led by presently Mr. Harsha Reddy and Seema Malhotra madam. I am thankful on behalf of the ICSI and on behalf of the entire fraternity and on behalf of the council. I'm thankful to you, and I request you to please come again and again with these kind of the awareness programs. And users grievance redressal mechanism is also this kind of the webinar is also one of the mechanism. I'm also thankful to the team, ICSI technical team and Deepa madam for extending their time and arranging all these things with this. And at the last, I request all the stakeholders please raise the ticket properly and keep sharing on the portal and Twitter so they can observe it, they can monitor it, and they can provide the proper solutions to the stakeholder. Thank you, friends. Thank you, members, for patient hearing and listening. Thank you, madam. Thank you, MCA.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for
Thank you. Thank you.
with this, we'll close the meeting, sir.